Here we go. We're recording.
Okay, welcome everyone. And do you guys see this?
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, darn. Okay. Um, okay.
You need to share the screen, but not the outline.
Okay, sorry
Okay,
about
you need to share the PowerPoint. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.
Yes, okay, great.
No. Actually, I can't stop. I can't stop recording. We gotta just go because we have one.
He's gonna understand.
We'll get it. All right. All right.
Okay.
All right. So Crystal, just stop share.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop share.
Okay, and click share, and then share only the window that you want shared, which is the PowerPoint or the Google Doc that you have, but not share your notes. Do you know how to do that?
I mean, isn't that just by doing this? Yeah, right?
Okay. Okay. So share. So share the PowerPoint, but not your notes. Do you do you want to hear what I'm saying? Okay.
Because it should have PowerPoint listed as one of the options, and you click on it, and then
Okay.
there.
All right.
Maybe it's not sharing on the. I see what I think I'm doing wrong. So it's sharing not on the PowerPoint.
I'll edit this part out. I'll edit this out. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Care. She's gonna laugh.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about 5 minutes. I gotta get this out. It's okay. This is why we're doing the dry run.
Yeah.
This is her point.
Yeah.
Right, Joni?
Okay, I think I'll just end up doing that. Okay. So anyway, sorry about that. I will pull that up and just share the actual PowerPoint and not the, I think I know what I did wrong. Okay. Now, good. Share PowerPoint. Okay. Now we'll make it a, what am I doing? Slideshow. Beginning. Okay.
It's looking really rasterized. It's looking like the image was like, we'll work on the image quality because we have a new image anyway. All right, so go ahead.
Now can you just see the PowerPoint?
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, okay.
Okay, good.
All right, ready, go. Let's go.
Okay. Welcome everyone and thank you for attending today's webinar, Lights, Camera, Learning. We're going to be exploring educational uses of audio and video tools. For today's webinar, our panel of experts will be exploring 4 educational uses for audio visual tools. Our experts today are Crystal Fox, that's myself, Director of Graduate Admissions, University of Colorado, Denver. And then Angela Valvino, she's a 10th, 11th, 12th grade English teacher and mentor for Jefferson County Public Schools in Colorado. And then Jennifer Richards, a project support technology liaison for elementary schools in the Cherry Creek School District. And then Travis Les, a disabilities and computing coordinator in the Office of Information Technology at UCLA. For this webinar, we are going to be looking at the benefits of audiovisual in the classroom or in meetings. There are many, but by adding these tools to your daily presentation, you'll be bringing more engagement and interaction, enabling distance learning through online classrooms and exposing students to technology that will teach them valuable skills that they will be able to use later. Our objectives for this webinar are that you will be able to choose from Zoom, Screencast-O-Matic, WeVideo, and or Audacity. It is our goal that you will be able to identify and experiment with several audio or video tools that will enhance the presentation of your curriculum or ideas, and you'll be able to articulate the benefits of using various audio and video tools. So the first thing that we'll be examining today in this webinar is Zoom. Zoom is a video conferencing tool for meetings and or online classrooms. It's free to sign up and features unlimited use of the meeting tool with up to 100 participants and it's easy to use. It provides interactive tools such as chat, polls, annotate, screen share, and it also has recording capabilities. For my objective today, I would like to show you how to log into Zoom and then schedule a meeting, and then update Zoom's basic meeting settings and create a quick poll. We're going to go ahead and get this started. That's not good.
Is there supposed to be something right there?
Is that not working?
Mm-hmm.
We don't see anything.
Okay. Maybe I have to do a new screen share of that.
That happened once when I was practicing, so maybe go to the slide before it and try to go back into it and see if it comes up.
Can you see it now?
No.
It's saying it's 8 minutes long. Do you see this?
We could see that it's trying to load. Are you hosting this? Oh, there it is. Okay, looks good.
Okay, so the first thing that we're going to want to do is begin this demonstration.
Can you just run the video locally?
So when you share your screen at the beginning, there's something at the bottom that says use computer audio. I realized that when I was practicing. So you have to do that when you're sharing your screen in the PowerPoint.
Yeah, that's right, Jennifer. So Crystal, you do a stop share and then share, but before you click anything, before you click the share link button, there should be a checkbox underneath that says share computer audio. Do you see that? So just click share once.
Oh, I see. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, I think that'll bring the audio better.
Bar, and then click on schedule a new meeting.
Sounds great.
The first thing that you'll need to do is give your meeting a topic. And I'm just going to call it test meeting. And the description, this is optional. You can have the description be a test meeting for staff meeting or for a classroom, whatever you'd like to call it. Then you would want to just decide when do you want to have this test meeting. And it really is a good idea to have a test meeting because before you have a webinar, before you schedule a class, so that you can practice your meeting before you have your attendees come to your actual webinar. Then you want to choose how long the meeting is going to be. And in this case, I'm going to say it's for an hour. You can choose less time by just simply choosing 0 for an hour and then the minutes, or you can have the meeting go longer by choosing an hour maybe and a half. You can then choose the time zone that you'd like the meeting to begin. So in this case, this is Mountain Standard Time, but if you live somewhere else, you might want to change that to a different time zone. Then if the meeting is reoccurring, you would then just enter when is the reoccurrence. Is it daily? Is it weekly? Is it monthly? How often should it repeat? And when it should end. In this case, this meeting is not reoccurring. Is there a required registration? If so, you'll just click on this and that will be shown once we save this particular meeting. Then you'll want to choose the video. Is the video going to have, is the host yourself going to have the video on upon the meeting starting, or will the video be off? You'll also then want to choose whether your participants will have their video on or off. In most cases, you're going to have this off. Audio, similar, whether or not you want to have the audio just be telephones, people will call in with their landline or their mobile phone, or shall your participants just use their computer audio? In most cases, you're going to choose both so that your participants have an option. And then you're going to choose whether the meeting should have a password, and if it should, then you'll enter that information here. In most cases, there is not usually a password for a meeting. However, if you do choose to do this, just keep in mind that you'll want to make sure you tell your participants that there is a password so that they don't get lost and then they're not able to get into the meeting. Then you'll want to consider, do you have enable join before the host? This allows your participants, your attendees, to join before you do. This is already checked, and so it's best practice that you do allow your participants to join before you do. You can also decide to mute your participants upon entry. This is usually a good idea to do this so that there's not a lot of chatter in the webinar before the meeting starts, or while the meeting is going on, if someone else forgets to mute their phones or mutes their computers. You can also then choose a personal meeting ID. If you do decide that you do not want to allow your participants to join before you, then it's a good idea to enable a waiting room. And this then allows your participants to go into a space before you enter the webinar so that they can be there but not able to see the webinar, not able to see you before the meeting actually begins. Just keep in mind, if you do enable a waiting room, that's then one additional step that you will need to take care of as the host. You'll need to make sure that your participants are released from the waiting room, and this can be a little tricky when you're doing a webinar. And then you also want to decide whether or not that you want to record the meeting automatically on your computer. You do not have to do this automatically. You can do this once you've already started the webinar. Very simple to do this. You would simply just go down into your webinar and then choose record once you started once you started your meeting. Otherwise, you could have it done automatically. Once you've made all of your configurations, you would just choose save. Now here is your test meeting. It tells you the time, the meeting ID, and then you also, in this case, I must have chosen that the people are required to register for before the meeting, and so this is the link that will be provided to them, to your attendees. And these are the other configurations that I've chosen for this basic meeting. Now I'm going to show you how to create a quick poll. So when you're doing this, you would just click on poll and you would click add. So for this poll, you can enter a title. So I'm going to enter the title as favorite color. Feel free to also create your own polls while we're doing this demonstration, or please follow along with the handout at a later time. So the question I have is, what is your favorite color? Then I can decide whether or not I want my participants of my webinar to either choose multiple choices or a single choice. In my case, I just want a single choice. So then I'm going to put my answers in here. Leave it at that. Now that I'm done with my poll, I would just simply go down and save it. However, if I have additional questions, I would just then add additional questions. So there you go. Now I have a poll within my webinar ready to go so that when I am actually doing my webinar, I can then provide this poll to my participants, to my attendees. Okay, so that is, so now I'm going to have to do another screen share. All right. Okay, and so that is the demonstration for Zoom. And so for the next activity, I would like to ask why we would create a poll. Why would that be beneficial? Okay. All right. I appreciate all of your participation in this chat. And now we're going to move on to our next panelist, Angelina Valvona, who is going to talk with us about Screencast-O-Matic.
You're muted. Angelina, you're muted. Angelina. Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay, we got it. We're back.
Sorry. Okay. All right, Crystal, are you supposed to say anything for this part? Did I share?
You're sharing. You're sharing right now.
Okay. Are you saying anything for this?
She's also muted.
You're muted.
Oh, my bad. I thought I was just going to be introducing you and saying that, you know, now you're going to talk about.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
All right. Thank you.
There's some missing chunks of screen from your screen. Do you
From
have
my screen?
do you have like a chat window open on your right side of your screen?
I have your faces open.
Okay, yeah, and try to move that away off the stage.
What if I go like that?
It's still there, and also in the upper left corner. Oh, that's better. Yeah, it's actually blocking something in the upper left corner as well. Okay.
In the past, I've resized my PowerPoint to be beyond where the chat window and the people are, and that usually solves that issue. It did my small webinar.
What if I move it? Does that help?
Yeah, maybe try to move it. Okay, yeah, it's still blocking a little bit there.
I don't have anything open.
Oh, you don't?
No, I have a little tiny box where your faces used to be, but I minimized it.
Okay. Do a stop share and then try to do a reshare with. Are you doing desktop or are you doing application share? So when you go to share, are you clicking desktop or are you yeah, click share.
I just clicked on the window that I had opened, the team webinar template.
No. When you click the share button, what do you see?
When I click the share button,
yeah.
I have screen, whiteboard, iPhone, and then the window that I had open, which is the PowerPoint, and then other stuff.
Okay, choose the PowerPoint. Is that what you tried?
That's what I did the first time.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like extra zoomed in, and so it doesn't look the same as it did before I started doing this. Let me see. Let me try one other thing. I don't think this is gonna work though. What if I'm... Okay, do you see like my normal PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Okay, and so I hit present.
It's going full screen, huh? Is that what's happening? It's going
Yeah.
try to reduce it from full screen. Try to click present. I don't know how to do this.
Kristen, what did you do? Why did yours work and mine isn't? Do you remember?
She's on mute still. Crystal,
Sorry, I used, I have the PowerPoint on my desktop and I just used that rather than using it from Google Docs.
So you downloaded it?
I downloaded it into a PowerPoint. I thought, because I was having that same problem when we were doing this before, that it wasn't showing up.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to see if it does anything different. I don't know where my arrows are now.
It's still showing.
How do you go back when it's in like this? Oy vey. I don't even know what I just did. Oh, crap. Yes, I did. All right, let me just try and keep going. Oh, arrows. Sorry, I'm not used to using it like this. Does that look? No, that still looks the same, huh?
Yeah, we're still missing a block. You know what? We could probably just continue on, and we have 2 more weeks to figure this out. So
Okay,
we can just move forward with the talking points.
okay. All right, so our objective for Screencast-O-Matic is that learners will be able to articulate the benefits of the software for your educational purposes. So I'm going to get right into why I like Screencast-O-Matic so much. So join me as I walk you through that a little bit. I use Screencast-O-Matic a lot for mini lessons and special announcements, or when I'm introducing a really big project. And part of the reason I do that is because our kiddos have about a 70% attendance rate. And so we have a lot of kiddos who they've gone through a lot of trauma and they just can't make it to school on a regular basis. So I have to have a way to be able to have them have access to the software or to the videos themselves that I do, so that I don't have to repeat myself 20 times in any given week or go back to something that I did a month ago when they have finally been able to make it to school. So I love Screencast-O-Matic for those purposes primarily. I personally pay about $15 for the software with an upgraded account, and a free account will get you very similar things. There's just a few things that are a little bit different, which we're going to get into in just a second. Before that, though, I want to do a poll. So I'd like you to go ahead and participate with me as I ask you a few questions just to get us all into this together and see where we're all at.
Crystal, were you supposed to do the poll?
I don't have access to the poll.
Oh, I can do it.
Oh, there it is. It looks good.
Okay.
Okay.
I already good.
Wait, how do I vote?
Oh.
Did it not work when it popped up for you?
No, I can't vote on this.
I see I see like what the
I
Just
see the
tell it to everybody,
questions.
I see the results. I don't see the multiple choice questions.
Oh, I see the questions and not the results.
Oh.
Oh, because Angelina is not a co-host.
Oh.
So we can't do the
Oh.
polls as
Well, as
co-hosts.
co-host, we can't do the polls.
Oh, okay, that's right, because we're seeing the results. I see.
Okay, so does that who's going to have to share the results then? Crystal, can you still do that?
I can do that.
Okay. All right. Pretend
You will be co-host.
you're shared.
Okay.
No. I mean, okay, so then, so do you want me just to say, like, these are the results?
Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can put you as a co-host and you'll be able to see the results. It just you weren't in as a co-host at this moment.
Okay. Okay. I don't know where that other one went. Hold on. Sorry.
You can take the poll down, I think. You take the poll down.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. That was such helpful information. I appreciate that. So to continue on, Screencast-O-Matic, they provide you some reasons to use their software. So you see them right in front of you, the flipped and blended learning, the lecture capture, teacher to student mentorship, student assignments, and then the video announcements. But there's so many other reasons to use the tool, which we'll also discuss later, or we'll come to together later. Really quickly though, I just want to share with you the benefits of just using the free account versus using an upgraded account. So the free account you can use anytime you want. You can still record your narration, audio. The only problem is that you can't record the computer audio. So anything that you're trying to get, like if it was to be music coming off of your computer or a video that you were playing on YouTube, that won't be able to work on a free account. So you will have to pay the $15 or whatever you choose to pay. The good part though is that teachers, they have set up plans that are specifically for educators. So they have one that's under $20. You have full access to video editing, longer recording ability, and you can add music and you can do so much more. So let's get right into the software. I'm going to play the demo for you in just 1 second. Oops. Okay, guys, can I stop for 1 second? So this is exactly what happened to me the very first time I did this. And there's this box up at the top that says, it says, please move this window away from the shared application. And I still have no idea why it's doing that.
Yeah, because what we see is nothing.
You don't see the screen where the video is about to play?
No. Maybe share desktop. Share your entire desktop versus share the app. So go to share and then choose desktop one, and which is should be the default, and try that.
I don't have a desktop one. I have screen, whiteboard, iPhone, the video that I already had up, the PowerPoint.
Share screen. Just try to just click the first one, which should be share screen.
It's not. Oh,
I'm going to begin.
Did that work?
That works. Yeah.
That does
work.
It works.
Oh goodness, we're gonna have to remember all this.
Yeah. Well, we get to practice a couple more times.
Is the audio coming out okay?
You need to click share computer audio. So stop
I
share.
already did that before I even started.
You gotta do it every time. But I don't know. Just go click play. Let's just see how it sounds.
I'm going to begin by going to screencast-o-matic.com. I'll notice that up here. The URL.
Do you hear it?
We hear it. It sounds muffled.
I've already downloaded the software, which is
It sounds muffled.
Yeah. Stop share.
Okay.
And then reshare, but make sure that that check button is checked. Share computer sound.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Ay, ay, ay.
I'm going to begin by going to Screencast-O-Matic.com. You'll notice that up here in the URL. And then because I've already downloaded the software, which is pretty fast, I'm going to go ahead and click Login and get into my account. Now here's my account. So I just click my Start Recorder button and I can get right into it. Click on the pop-up up here, Open Screen Recorder Launcher. And then my box is going to open. That's going to record my screen, and there that is. And if I don't like the size, I can adjust it, bringing in the corners, or bringing in the sides or the top. And then you'll also notice that up here, here's where my control bar is. So depending upon how I size my box, my control bar might be at the top or at the bottom. And now I just have to decide, do I want to record my screen, my webcam, or both? And in this case, I'm going to record my screen. You'll notice that my narration is already picking up my mic, which is great. If I wanted to shut that off, I could. And then if you want to be able to pull your computer's audio, you will need to upgrade for that. And if you click on your preferences, it'll give you some other options for hotkeys and whether you have a countdown or not and where your control bar is. But I'm okay with all those things and where they are right now. So I'm going to click OK. And then to get rid of this black box so that I can go ahead and start recording so it's not in my way, I just click my X. And if I want to open it up at any time, I can just hit that toggle and it will open back up. Now I'm going to go ahead and click my circular recording button. And it's going to give me my countdown, which I really like about this program. And then I'm going to start recording whatever on my screen. So I like to record in segments, so I record 10 to 20 seconds at a time, no matter how long I want my video to be. And so we'll pretend that's one segment right there, and I'll hit pause. And then I prepare for my next segment, and then I just hit my red record button again. Gives me another countdown, and then I can just start from there. And then I record the rest of my video. So say that I messed up this last one. So I'll hit pause. And this is something that I really like about this software that I just want to show you really quickly. So I can actually, if I did not like that last section, seek back to where I had stopped just previously. So I can just go back to that first section I did, go back to the end of that first section, and my video will allow me to truncate that piece by hitting my red button over here with the arrow and then clicking yes truncate. Now once I hit this yes truncate button, my countdown's going to start again, so I definitely have to be ready to continue recording from there. If I don't need to do that, I can just click no, and then I can go back to wherever I was, wherever I want it to end off at. So in this case, I'll just go to that very end. So I'm at the very end right now for where I stopped recording initially. And I want to make sure that I always test my volume. So I'm going to play this really quickly. Think about this program. And then I'm going to start recording whatever on my screen. And you'll notice my volume sounds pretty good, but I also want you to notice that when my cursor moved, I had that yellow circle highlighting it, which I really also like about this software, because then it brings your attention to that cursor right away and wherever it's going, making it easier for your audience. So for the sake of this video, I am all done. So I click my done button on the right. And then if I want to play this video through one more time to make sure I really feel confident in how it looked and sounded, I can go ahead and do that by hitting the play button, or I can just decide where do I want to upload this file to. Do I want to put it on my computer? Do I want to put it in Screencast-O-Matic, or do I want to upload it to YouTube? And I always upload to YouTube just because for me and for my kiddos, that's more convenient because I can directly upload it into my LMS. So So I'm going to click upload to YouTube. And then this box, no matter where you're uploading to, will pop up. So if I don't like the YouTube account that I'm currently in, I can pull it from another one. I can retitle. In this case, this is a test. I'm going to make it private. I can always make it public if I wanted to, or unlisted, but I can always start off as private and move it to public when I'm ready. And then I hit my green publish button. Because this video was really short, it's going to upload pretty quickly and publish. Depending upon how long your video is, it might take a little bit longer, even up to 10 minutes or so. And if I wanted to just keep recording other things or do other things in the background, I can continue in background and then go about my business with whatever I'm doing. And then as soon as this finishes publishing, I can go ahead and copy the link. I can open my upload wherever I put it, and then I'll click my OK button. And you'll notice that it's now in my Screencast-O-Matic account. If I didn't grab that link and I wanted to, I could then just copy it right here. And then that's pretty much it. So it's really easy to go ahead and record and get your video wherever you want it to go. So then I can just close it out and I'm all done.
All right. So, now it's going to be time for another questionnaire, per se. So I'm going to do a chat with you, and I have 2 questions. One of them is, how do you feel about the level of ease of using Screencast-O-Matic now that you've seen it being used? And then, how comfortable do you feel using the software yourself? And so whoever's recording would need to show that in chat. Otherwise, I can do it in another poll, which might be easier, which was my initial plan anyways, and then at some point I changed it.
No, this is fine. Okay. Recordings don't capture chat, but I mean, it's fine.
Okay.
Hey, great.
All right. Well, that's great to hear. So now, really quickly, I want to get some ideas out just so that we can all share what we think we can use Screencast-O-Matic software for, whether it's actual curriculum ideas or anything else. So if you can join me as I share a whiteboard with you, we'll go ahead and start throwing in all of the ideas that you can come up with for how you can use Screencast-O-Matic software. If you have not used the whiteboard before, there is an annotation option, which mine is already naturally doing. So does everyone see a bar at the top of their screen? And go ahead and start writing your ideas that you can come up with for why you would use Screencast-O-Matic in education for yourself. All right, great. I love your ideas. So thank you so much for joining me and walking through that software with me. I really appreciate it. All of your ideas are awesome. I love them. And, you know, if you have any questions or need any help with anything, we'll get back together at the end of this webinar.
Great. Thank you very much, Angelina. We appreciate that demonstration of Screencast-O-Matic. And now we're going to go on, and Jennifer Richards is going to do a brief discussion and demonstration of WeVideo.
Hello, everyone. So does this look good for everyone?
Hmm?
All right. So we're on the next part of our journey through audio video, and we are on WeVideo. So I'm excited to talk to you today about video editing. And in my current position, I help teachers at the elementary level introduce new and innovative ideas in their classroom instruction. And I also go into the classroom and I assist students with various projects. And one of the most popular projects, it seems like recently, is school student-produced videos. And it's an engaging way for students to present content. So do any of you watch videos created by regular people, not the big studios? I'm going to guess that most, if not all of you, had watched one at least in the past week. Audiences young and old watch videos on file sharing sites like YouTube. And as that, and some people rank that as one of the most popular websites in the world right now. As a creator of educational content, many of you probably want to create published videos not only for classroom use, but for larger online audiences, and captivating an audience is key. So briefly here in chat, I'm just curious to get a feel for what kind of video editing tools many of you have used in the past. If you haven't, you can put that in the chat too, and just let me know what tools you're familiar with. All right, Video Pad, that's a good one. Camtasia, yeah, that's one I like too. All right, so one tool that we use a lot in our district is WeVideo. So for those of you that haven't heard of WeVideo, it's a video editing program that allows users to pull in their video recordings and produce a final product that could include soundtracks, animated titles, and green screen elements. So what makes this software stand out, and why is it good for students and for novice video users? So it's web-based, and there is an app that you can download to access it on your mobile phones if you wanted to, but being web-based, that's a really good thing to do as far as you can use it on any device anywhere. I've worked, and it's easy to use. I've worked with students as young as second graders, and they can produce very simple videos with a title screen and maybe a musical soundtrack behind their images. The ability to have multiple users collaborate on projects at home, the office, or school is another feature that makes WeVideo stand out. All right, so I want to get you familiar with WeVideo. And the following video I made about WeVideo, I made in WeVideo. So all of the elements you see are elements that you can find in the platform. Oops, sorry about that. Let's get started by going to www.wevideo.com. When you go to the WeVideo homepage, you have the option of signing up for either a free account or a paid one. After logging into your account, you will come to the dashboard. The dashboard page contains templates and your most recent projects. Along the top banner, you can see links to 5 different pages with tools to create and manage projects, groups, and media content. In the dark gray bar on the left of this page is a button students or other collaborators can use to join your project. Clicking on the groups link at the top of this page will bring us to this next input page. This form allows you to create a new group and select people to add to it. You can also assign them lead privileges or only give them user access. Going back to the main page, the project tab is next on the top menu. On the project page, you will find all of your projects and have the ability to create a new project by clicking on the blue plus in the bottom right of the screen. When creating a new project, this prompt will appear. This is where you choose which type of project collaboration or sharing you want. Personal is pretty self-explanatory. If you and only you are working on the project, then this is the one to choose. Collaborative is the best option if multiple people will be working on the same video edits and adding media content. The only issue with this is only one person can be working on the project at a time. If multiple people will be making edits, team members need to schedule times to be in the project. Shared is chosen when multiple people will be making videos for a class assignment or shared topic, but each person or group will be making their own video by themselves. The creator of the project can pull in media that can be shared and used by all users, and the creator can see all of the videos in the project. This is perfect for a teacher who can keep track of students' progress with their assignment. After creating a project and selecting it from your dashboard or projects page, this is the video editing timeline that appears. At the top left of the page is a menu of various options to use while working on a video. The star is the main page, where you can search for media in the extensive library of images, videos, and audio clips. The file folder with the star is where you can manage your media you are pulling into your project. The square with the A is the way to add text to the screen. The square with the music node allows you to select music to use in your video. The multicolored square is transitions. The square with the mountains gives you the option of graphics such as backgrounds, frames, and overlays. I want to show you what you will see when selecting the Media tab, which is the file folder with the star. This is what you will see on the Media page. What I have circled are action buttons that will assist in uploading media to your project. If you have images or other media you want to upload from your computer or Google Drive, you would click on the green cloud. The red dot enables you to record a video right from the device that you are running WeVideo on. Once recorded, the video automatically goes into your timeline. The microphone button is for recording audio voiceovers. Recording using these buttons is especially useful with younger students who might have difficulty saving and retrieving audio or video files from other devices and moving them into WeVideo. One main feature that schools utilize in WeVideo is green screen. After double-clicking on a video in your timeline, this editing page opens. From this page, you can change size and position of elements in the video. We are going to click on the tab of the square with the person in the middle. This is located right under the main WeVideo menu bar at the top of the page. To enable the green screen feature, you would click on the dropper, click on the video portion that is green, and the color will show up in the color box. After saving this and adding a background image to the timeline, you now have two videos layered as you see here. All right, so that is WeVideo for you. I hope you enjoyed that video. It wasn't very hard to put together. It's pretty easy to do a simple project in WeVideo, and I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of schools are purchasing licenses. So this is WeVideo in a nutshell, and I hope this has inspired you to try a project. In the chat right now, if you can think of maybe something that has sparked your interest that maybe you think you could use WeVideo as far as a class project, go ahead and share that, and let's see what people have come up with watching it. So Crystal says, I could use it to make better video demonstrations. That's great. Senior reflection videos from Angelina. That's fabulous. So thank you everyone for participating in my presentation today, and I hope you have a desire to create some amazing videos. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Jennifer. That's wonderful. Now we are at with our final presenter today, Travis Lee. He is going to present Audacity. And so we're just going to go ahead and...
All right. So hi, everyone. My name is Travis Lee. I'm the Disabilities and Computing Program Coordinator here at UCLA. And someone left a beer in this office, so I'm drinking it. I was like, you know, I really started thinking about audio-only formats pretty recently when I began teaching at UCLA. And I would look around the classrooms, I could see that we have a very diverse student body. And as I dug into more research, I found that about 1 in 10 students at UCLA has a disability of some sort. And when you think about disability, you need to also think about teaching as well. And the way that we can improve our teaching methodologies by embracing different teaching modalities such as audio and audio formats, video formats for students who just learn in a different way. For example, myself, as someone who has grown up with dyslexia, I struggled with a lot of my readings. And when you design a course which is reading heavy and just test heavy, you're not really engaging your entire student population. So audio only formats are really a good alternative to just doing straight text formats or video formats. It's a much more lightweight version of teaching. So I'm going to talk to you today about audio-only formats for teaching and learning. So I'm going to do my screen share. So I'm going to share PowerPoint. And I'm going to go to presenter, play from start. Okay. So audio-only formats in education. Here are some of the stats around why podcasts or audio formats can be useful in education. As you see here, we have about 51% of American households are actually listening to podcasts. So this is not a brand new format. And podcasts have really taken a really big upswing since 2018 to 2019. Just at 8%, just in the last 6 months, there has been an 8% increase in people listening to podcasts. As we see here is 144 million Americans who are listening to podcasts in 2019. And one of the points that I want to point out is that podcasts are great for commuters. We know that about 25% of people listening to podcasts are driving at the same time. So here we see the average distance of a commuter student is 10.2 miles. In LA, that could be up to like 45-minute drive, right? So we're thinking about filling that gap of time where students may not be doing anything. They could be listening to music, but being able to serve audio lecture or even video lecture during that time period if they're commuting on a bus, for example. But audio-only formats are great for commuters, people riding bikes, people commuting to work, or commuting to school. So I really think that audio formats lends itself to people who are on the go, which is a really common circumstance for students who are commuting between classes, commuting between work and their school, and commuting between home and school. So audio formats are excellent for that. We also know that about 56% of individuals listening to podcasts are actually men. So it's a little bit, it's a little bit skewed more towards men who listen to podcasts. And Apple iTunes has about 500,000 active shows currently with over 18 million different episodes. So this is an area that's growing exponentially on a year-by-year basis. And you can find podcasts in just about any subject. Personally, I listen to the news podcast. I listen to some really random podcasts about fishing. I'm not even a fisherman. So if you just find a person that you really like, it's almost as if you know them. So podcasts are a really good format for that. So in this question, kind of an open-ended question, I want to ask the audience, so what is your favorite podcast? What podcast have you listened to recently? So just here's a few of the top podcasts that I found here. I've actually listened to S-Town, really good podcast about a gay man living in Alabama who ended up killing himself. But it's a really interesting story about the kind of the social dynamics that are happening in the South, and kind of and everything to do with like sexual orientation and class as well. So if you can answer what your favorite podcast is. All right. So I'm going to go to the chat, see what people have said. Okay, so no one listens to podcasts. All right, we'll find a good one. Okay. So the first step in creating your own podcast would be to find an audio mixing tool. Here are the ones that I found that are free: Audacity, Shampoo Burning Studio, and Acoustica. Those are the ones that I found that are completely free for audio mixing. Today we're going to be talking about Audacity, though. And the next thing you're going to also need is a audio hosting service. In this case, you have SoundCloud, Buzzsport, Lisbon is really good, and iTunes is also a good place to host your podcast. So the two things that you're going to need. You're going to need audio editing software and a place to host your podcast. So we're going to get right into it. So we're going to be talking about how do you actually create a podcast using Audacity. So the first step, so here's the steps to creating your podcast. The first step is going to be download Audacity. You're going to open Audacity. This should be in the handout as well. You're going to click record, speak into the mic, click stop, edit the file, add music or add additional sound elements, and you can export the file, then upload to a hosting service. So those are basically the 9 steps that you need to do to create a podcast. And we're going to go over most of them right now. So downloading and opening Audacity. Here's a quick video about how to do that. I'm going to stop share because I think I forgot to click this share sound. Yeah. All right, here we go. Okay, so the first step in creating a podcast is downloading a audio software. The first step in creating a podcast is going to be downloading Audacity, which is the program that we are using to edit audio. So just go to the Google search bar and click and type Audacity. Download. In my case, it's Mac, so go ahead and click Mac. You're gonna move it into Applications. And then you're gonna open Audacity just by double clicking. Open. All right, so here's the program, Audacity. And that is how you open Audacity, download and open Audacity. All right, so that was pretty straightforward. It's just basically downloading the application, opening up. The next phase is really editing the audio file, or recording the audio file and then editing it. So the next one. The first step, the next one is edit the file in Audacity. So we're going to go ahead and click play here. We're going to show you in this quick video how to actually record and edit the video. The audio. Hi, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do your first recording using Audacity. It's quite simple. I'm also going to show you also how to do a little bit of editing in your file and also increase the volume or the audio levels. So go ahead and click record, audio check. You can see that the WAV files are coming in, or and looks good. So welcome to our class, which is called Lights, Camera, Learning. Today we're going to be talking about how to improve your educational experiences for your students using audio and video software. I'm going to press stop, and you can see that the file's there. I'm going to go to the front of the file. Let's go ahead and press play. Audio check. You can see that the WAV file. It sounds pretty good. I know it's a little bit low because you ideally want to hit the levels at about 0.5 and negative 0.5. So I'm going to go ahead and click select all by clicking Control A and then Effect. We're going to amplify that by approximately, I think we'll start with 10 decibel. Let's just go with that. That's looking a lot better. I'm going to trim you could just, I'm going to go ahead and press play. Audio check. You can see that the WAV files are coming in, or okay, so I'm gonna delete some of those pauses. So I'm gonna delete this pause right here, highlight, and just click delete. And this is a kind of a long pause here too. I'm gonna delete this out, and I'm gonna listen to this last side. I'm gonna press. Okay, that doesn't mean anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. So that's how you edit your file. You edit by just like highlighting the area that you want to be clipped and just press delete. In which case, yeah, this is very, very simple. That's how you do editing in Audacity. Hi. Okay, so as you saw in that previous video, the editing is really about highlighting the area of the WAV file and then clicking delete. That's how you edit the file. In this next video, we're going to take a look at how to export the file, adding a little bit of music and then exporting the file. So when you create an audio file, you ideally don't want just a talking voice. You do want to add some sound effects, some music. It really makes a difference for the engagement level. So let's go ahead and watch this next video here. All right, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to add music to your podcast as well as export and get it ready for upload to the podcasting platform. So let's go ahead and take a quick listen. Audio check. You can see that the WAV files are coming in all right, so that's the podcast. I'm going to insert a music track. So go to File, Import, Audio. Then you're going to go to just find an audio track that you want. I have this no copyright music. You can download from YouTube or anywhere else as no copyright music. And you can see that actually this song is quite long. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this piece. Trim that out. All right, so I trimmed out the audio piece. It's also pretty loud. I can just see with my eyes that it's a little too loud. So we're gonna amplify it, and we're gonna reduce the audio levels to maybe 20 by 20. All right, that looks better. So I'm gonna give it a play now. You can see that the WAV files are coming in, and it looks good. So welcome to our class, which is called Lights, Camera, Learning. Today we're gonna be talking. Okay, as you can see, there's a little bit of music in the background, and I think that I'm ready to export this piece. So we could go to, actually, audio check. All right, so we're ready to export. Let's go ahead and export. We go File, Export. I generally use WAV file. WAV is probably, in my mind, the best format for this, so I export as WAV. It's a kind of large format. We're going to go ahead and put in the title, which is going to be Draft Podcast 01. I'm going to put it into my downloads and go ahead and click Save. Audio tracks will be mixed. All right, just click OK and click OK. And there's your podcast in your downloads at 3.3 megs. And that's how you export the audio. Okay, so that video just showed you how to pretty much add a little bit of music and click the export. The reason why we want to use WAV file is because it's actually the highest quality file, and you could actually convert it to any format you want later on. But once it's living in the online environment, it will compress based on the streaming quality of the individual downloading. So let's, oops. All right, let's go to the last slide, which is upload to SoundCloud. This could be any platform. I just happen to choose SoundCloud because I have an account with SoundCloud. So we're gonna watch how to actually upload this into a platform where you can actually listen to it and send it to your friends. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to upload your podcast to SoundCloud. This is a pretty basic audio hosting website. Once you create an account, you just click Upload, choose your file. In this case, it is draftpodcast.wav. And you can name it, the genre. Right now, I'm going to just put none. I'm not going to put any descriptions because I don't think this is a very good podcast, but I'm going to go ahead and put private. You can also make it public. I'm going to say save, and that's the podcast. And you can go to your track, and you can listen to it. Audio check. You can see that the WAV files are coming in, and that's your podcast. In this URL, you could share with your friends and family and that is how to make a podcast in about 8 minutes. All right, so that was the podcast. Basically, what you're trying to do is what's more important than actually doing the audio editing is finding a subject matter that's interesting to yourself and to your audience. But I don't want you guys to think that the technology is difficult or is getting in the way of creating really cool podcasts that you can send to your class. And it's like I said in the beginning of the talk that this is an engaging way for a new and engaging way for students to consume content for your classes. So I'm gonna pass it off now to Crystal, who's gonna kind of wrap up our conference.
Yes, thank you very much, Travis, and thank you all for joining us on our for this meeting today. I want to first of all, yes, thank you all for meeting with us today. And if you want to access our handout, you can access it here. And if you fill out our evaluation survey, this will be here. But if you do have any more questions, please go ahead and ask them right now. We're all here to answer those for you right now. No? Okay. Great. Well, thank you once again. And if you, and we hope that you will be using any one of these tools in your future. Thank you.
I'm going to press stop now.